The sleep study. The next morning, they said I slept great, 8 solid hours. Only thing was, I remembered every second of it. I dreamed of that hallway again. Endless. Fluorescent lights flickering overhead like the pulse of some dying god. Doors on either side, each one numbered, and behind them something breathing. Slow, wet, patient. The doctors called it normal REM activity. But I knew what I felt wasn't a dream. And when I snuck a look at the security footage from my room, yeah, I wasn't supposed to. I saw myself sit up in bed around 3-7 a.m., eyes open, smiling, talking to someone who wasn't there. Each night after that, the study got darker, the sedation heavier. I'd wake with bruises on my wrists like someone had held me down. Once I tasted copper, metallic and thick, and found a smear of blood on my pillow. They said I'd bitten my tongue in my sleep. The next morning, I found a note under my pillow, just a scrap of paper, shaky handwriting that wasn't mine. Don't fall asleep again. I asked the nurses who came in and out of my room if anyone had been there overnight. They smiled that same two-eyed smile. You were safe, Mr. Ward. We monitored everything. But their eyes said otherwise. By the fourth night, I demanded to leave. Dr. Hanley folded his hands and said, "You signed a consent form. Leaving now would compromise our data." I told him to keep his damn data. I wasn't going to be his lab rat. He just tilted his head, almost pitying. "You already are," he said. That night, I fought the sedative, tried to stay awake. I pinched myself, dug my nails into my skin until I drew blood. But the drug was stronger. And when my vision blurred, I saw something move in the corner of the room. A shape. Tall, thin, draped in shadow, standing beside the monitor. It leaned close, and in the buzz of the machines, I heard that same whisper from the first night. "Welcome back, David." Then the lights went out, and I was back in the hallway again. This time, all the doors were open. The next morning, they said I slept great, 8 solid hours. Only thing was, I remembered every second of it. I dreamed of a hallway, endless, fluorescent lights flickering overhead, doors on either side, each one marked with a number, and behind them, something breathing. The doctor said it was normal REM activity, but I knew what I felt wasn't a dream. And when I looked at the security footage from my room, yeah, I peeked. I saw myself sit up in bed around 3:07 a.m., eyes open, smiling, talking to someone who wasn't there. Each night after, things got worse. I'd wake with scratches on my arms, a metallic taste in my mouth. One morning, I found a note tucked under my pillow in handwriting that wasn't mine. "Don't fall asleep again." I tried to leave. They wouldn't let me. They said walking out mid-study would invalidate the results. But I didn't care about results. I just wanted out. The front doors were locked. The receptionist smiled like she'd been waiting for me to try. Dr. Hanley appeared behind her, calm as ice. "David," he said, "you're in no condition to leave. You haven't even reached Delta phase." Delta phase, whatever that meant. He had 2 orderlies with him, big guys, silent. One of them reached for my shoulder, and I swear for a second his hand shimmered, like heat rising off asphalt. I backed away. "You're drugging me," I said. "You're putting things in the sedative." Hanley just smiled. "We're only unlocking what's already inside you." That night, I tried to fight the sleep again, but the vents whispered. I could hear the hum of the machines syncing with my pulse. The sedative crawled through my veins, heavy as concrete. I was back in the hallway, but now one of the doors was open. Light poured through it, pale, cold, moving like water. Something stepped out. It had my face, my voice, my smile. And when I woke, there was blood on the floor beside my bed. Not mine. I checked the security footage again. My room was empty. But the camera caught me walking down the hall at 3:07 a.m. And right behind me, something followed. The final night, they strapped me in tighter. Extra sensors, more machines, said they were close to a breakthrough. They moved around me like shadows, their voices clipped and hushed. Dr. Hanley's eyes glittered behind his glasses. "We've almost reached Delta phase," he said, his tone trembling, not with excitement, but fear. The sedative burned this time, thicker, colder. I felt it coil through my veins like liquid ice. Around midnight, the hum of the machines deepened, a low mechanical growl vibrating the bed frame. And then, that pull again, the space between awake and asleep, between here and there. The hallway waited for me, endless, pulsing with that pale, sourceless light. But this time, I wasn't alone. Rows of people in hospital gowns lined the corridor, dozens, maybe hundreds, motionless, their heads tilted at the same unnatural angle. Their eyes were white. Their mouths moved in eerie rhythm, whispering the same phrase over and over. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The sound grew until it became a single roar, a hurricane of voices clawing through my skull. I clamped my hands over my ears, but it didn't stop, because it wasn't sound. It was inside me. Then one of them stepped forward and I froze. It was me. Same face, same scar on the chin, but hollow, drained, gray, like something that had been used too many times. He smiled, slow and wrong. You're not the one who woke up? This, he whispered. I stumbled back, but the floor pulsed beneath me, alive and breathing. Behind him, the others began to move, jerking, shuffling, reaching out like puppets cut from their strings. I screamed for Hanley, for anyone, but the hallway didn't have walls anymore, just like swallowing everything. The other me reached forward, pressing his cold palm against my chest. In that instant, I felt something tear, deep, invisible, as if he was peeling me out of myself. The monitors in the real world flatlined, the lights shattered, and the last thing I saw before everything went black was my own body sitting up in the lab bed, smiling and opening its eyes. When I opened my eyes, I was home, my own bed, phone on the nightstand. Morning light bled through the curtains, soft, ordinary, almost kind. For a moment, I let myself believe it was over. The study, the machines, the whispers, just a bad trip in a sterile room somewhere far away. Then I noticed the bandage on my arm, a puncture mark beneath it. And when I peeled it back, that number, 47, stamped into my skin like a burn. My phone buzzed, one new voicemail. A woman's voice, calm, controlled, like reading from a script. Thank you for completing your participation. We'll be in touch for follow-up testing. Please avoid sleep until then. Avoid sleep until then. I called the number back. It went straight to static. No listing for Somnus research anywhere online. The address I'd driven to before, gone. Replaced by an empty lot with weeds crawling up the chain link fence. I checked my reflection in the mirror. Same face, same tired eyes. But when I leaned closer, something flickered in my pupils. A faint shimmer, like heat off a road. And behind my own reflection, just for a split second, I saw someone else watching. That night, I tried to stay awake. Coffee, cold showers, music blasting through my headphones. Didn't matter. My eyelids kept getting heavier, my mind slipping into static. Every time I blinked, I saw the hallway again. Doors breathing in and out, and behind one something waiting. Around 3:07 a.m., I caught myself talking, whispering into the dark. I didn't even realize until the words left my mouth. I told you not to fall asleep again. The voice wasn't mine, but it came from my throat. Panic surged. I stumbled toward the bathroom, flicked on the light, and froze. In the mirror, my reflection smiled before I did. Its lips moved just a heartbeat ahead of mine. Then it whispered, Delta phase complete. The lights flickered, the world tilted, and I understood I hadn't woken up. I was still in the hallway, and the thing wearing my face had gone home 2 nights ago. I haven't slept since. Every time I close my eyes, I see that hallway, flickering lights, breathing doors, and that hum like blood moving through wires. And behind door 47, something's waiting. The first day, I told myself I could fight it. Stay awake long enough, drink enough coffee, keep the lights on, I'd beat it. But the body has limits. The mind cracks first. Now I catch glimpses, reflections that move before I do. Voices whispering in my own tone, just out of sync. I think the thing that took my place, the one sitting in that clinic bed, is dreaming me now. Maybe I'm the leftover part, the echo, drifting between worlds like a signal with no receiver. I used to believe sleep was harmless, a place where you rest, recover. Now I know better. Sleep isn't rest, it's surrender, it's a door, and doors work both ways. My hands shake when I write this. Every few minutes, the lights flicker, and for an instant, I see that hallway again superimposed over my apartment. Doorways where walls should be, numbers burned faintly into the air. I can hear the whispering now, clearer than ever. Hundreds of voices, maybe thousands, all chanting the same thing. Wake up. But what if I already did? What if this isn't the waking world anymore? I don't know what's real. I just know the pull is getting stronger. I can feel sleep creeping up behind my eyes like a shadow with hands. Soon, I'll have to give in. And when I do, if I don't wake up as me, I hope whatever comes back pretends well enough to fool the rest of you. So, If you're hearing this, do yourself a favor. When you go to bed tonight and your room feels a little too quiet, listen closely. If you hear breathing that isn't yours, don't open your eyes. If you enjoyed the sleep study, give this video a like. It really helps the channel grow and reach more listeners who love a good scare. Be sure to subscribe for new horror stories every day and share this one with someone who won't sleep easy tonight. Thanks for watching and listening. There's another story recommended right now on your screen. I'll see you back here tomorrow night if I wake up.